Leadership Conference. Every year, I eagerly look forward to this event as a reinvigorated call to recommit ourselves to making the world a safer and more equitable place for all women. Last year, upon the declaration of COVID-19 as a pandemic, we unexpectedly had to cancel our 2020 event. Together, we come today virtually, amid so much chaos and disruption, to not only celebrate the amazing achievements of women, but also to sound the alarm on the many pressing issues that continue to restrict their advancement in society. 2020 presented unprecedented challenges which threaten the progress the world has made in women's empowerment. Long before COVID-19 became our norm, we already knew that women were making less, saving less, and those working in the informal sector had less secure jobs. Therefore, the capacity to absorb sudden economic shocks during disruptive periods was always going to disproportionately affect more women than men. From education and healthcare to job security and childcare, women and girls around the globe have been overly burdened by the effects of COVID-19. Here are some sobering statistics. UNESCO estimates that some 11 million girls may never return to school because of the pandemic. A recent McKinsey report noted that even though women make up 39% of the global workforce, 54% of female employees have lost their jobs across all industries. LinkedIn has reported that more than 1/3 of working women say their careers on pause because of the pandemic. Of those who remain in the workforce, 60% say that they are underperforming in areas of their life, which is not terribly surprising considering that among working mothers, 39% say they've gotten backlash from their supervisors because caretaking duties have created scheduling conflicts. The Price Waterhouse Women at Work Index for 2021 reveals the index has slipped 2.1 points down to 2017 levels. Progress towards gender equality will need to be twice its historic rate if female employment in OECD countries are to recover from COVID-19 by 2030. Crunchbase recently reported that nearly half of private company boards do not have a female director. Notably, though, not one board among companies on the S&P 500 is all male. And a report from IBM out this week shows a recent contraction in the pipeline of women for executive leadership roles. Between 2019 and 2021, the percent of female middle managers dropped 5% to 23%, while the percent of women as the vice president or director role has slipped from 19 to 15%. Perhaps this is why some are calling this the she-session era, with so many women either out of work or having to leave or take reduced paid work, citing burnout due to company inflexibility, caring responsibilities, and stress brought on by the pandemic. Such impacts risk erasing the already fragile progress that women have made in the labor force over the past decades. As we navigate our recovery from the pandemic and beyond, we have a unique opportunity to redefine leadership, reconstruct workplaces, and create an equal, inclusive, and resilient society for women and girls. Employers will need to look at more flexible working arrangements, gender-blind hiring, mentorship, and more childcare support for women returning to work. Therefore, a post-pandemic world needs to see women treated as essential workers, regardless of where they work or their positions in the organization. Because we know that when women are absent from the workplace, our economies do not grow. The McKinsey report also estimates that if no action is taken to ensure women's full participation into the workplace, global GDP growth would be $1 trillion lower by 2030. Yes, that's $1 trillion lower. We need to ensure that the she-session does not set back 30 years of progress. This year, the theme for International Women's Day is Choose to Challenge. This is a powerful call out for everyone to work together towards gender equality. The belief is that a challenged world is an alert world, and from challenge comes change. So let's make some changes. Let's choose to challenge workplace inflexibility so that women aren't punished for attending to childcare obligations while trying to do their jobs. Let's choose to challenge discrimination and sexual harassment in the workplace and start rewarding equal pay for equal work. Let's choose to challenge sexism and misogyny so that women aren't subjected to abuse and violence where they're tragically meeting their demise. Let's choose to challenge outdated beliefs and perceptions on gender that teaches us that a woman's place is in the kitchen while men are the breadwinners. Let's choose to challenge gender bias and other stereotypes so that we can see women as our equals and men as our allies in the struggle for gender equality. Let's choose to challenge the All Boys Club to lead with more diversity and include more women in the boardroom across our nation. Waiting for 250 years to dismantle the systemic barriers that make women more vulnerable in crisis and their leadership ascent steeper is not an option. We know that when more women are seated at decision-making tables, better decisions are made for the benefit of everyone. These challenges may seem difficult, but we simply can't give up. We must embrace these challenges today to create the changes we want. And that's exactly what we did at AMCHAM T&T. We chose to challenge. Even in a highly demanding year, we were able to secure gender parity on our board. Today, I am happy to announce that there's now an equal number of men and women sitting on our board, serving the interests of the entire business community of Trinidad and Tobago. I am extremely honored to work with these remarkable women: Giselle Thompson, Carrie Ann Hepburn, Caroline Sergio Ramnarine, Greer Kwan, Katish Surratt, Andrea Davis, and Angelique Pariseau Potter, who are all powerhouses of talent, energy, and ability. Our goal for gender parity has been strongly supported by our fellow male board members, who are very unique and enlightened individuals. Over the past 2 years, you've also heard me speak about our Women in Mentorship program. I'm extremely proud of this program because with the assistance from our partners at the IADB, we created a space for young female professionals to have guidance and counsel that would prepare them for the next step in their career paths. And what better way than having senior executives, both male and female, acting as mentors to the next generation of leaders. Our mentorship cohort has grown from 7 in 2018 to 39 in 2020. I'm delighted to report that our partners at the IADB are once more back on board with us, and we're currently seeking applications for both mentors and mentees. So if you're interested, please do not hesitate to get the application forms through our secretariat. Over the last month, our nation was plunged into a state of national mourning over the senseless murder of another one of our daughters. The horrific killing of Andrea Barrett sparked a collective outcry of anger, pain, and outrage from all of us. According to former US First Lady Michelle Obama, the measure of any society is how it treats its women and girls. Her words strongly resonates today as we find ourselves at a crisis moment where once more our women and girls are under attack. AMCHAM T&T has taken up this call to action with our recently launched gender-based violence workshop, because we know that not only do we, the business community, need to do more to protect our women, but protecting women at the workplace means providing increased opportunities for women to succeed, not only in their careers, but in their lives. The result of which can improve a woman's economic and social circumstances so that she's allowed to choose her path to success. What we need is stronger, bolder, and tougher action from the state, law enforcement, and the business community, and civil society to treat this burning issue as another deadly pandemic that demands urgent relief and support. In 2019, we had 19 men attend our conference. Their presence underscored for me the importance of engaging men in the discussion, not simply as allies, but individuals who are also impacted by their gender. I also appreciated that they chose to join our conversation, learn and ask questions about our experiences, and were authentic when sharing their own perspectives. To fully address gender-based violence, we need a society to create space for men to understand that it is acceptable to show expressions of fear, sadness, vulnerability, and pain without acts of violence. As we go forward, we must ask ourselves the question, what can I do? While there have been cracks in the glass ceiling and tremendous strides, we need a better understanding of what equality looks like and what we can do as an organization and as an individual to help. It can't just be about the government creating the change. The onus lies with each of us, government, companies, NGOs, and society working together to help realize the dream of equality for all. My journey as president of AMCHAM has been filled with both triumphs and challenges. Over the past 2.5 years, I have often asked myself, how can I make a meaningful difference in this role? Whenever I've been faced with this daunting question, I usually found comfort in the words of Mother Teresa, who once said, I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples. Change may take a lifetime to occur, but it's often the journey rather than the destination that helps you be prepared for the change you desire. The path may be long and scary at times, but if you're brave and strong enough to challenge yourself, you may never learn the lessons from the journey. And for me, that's where we create our personal ripples and leave our mark on the world. That's the message I want to leave you here today. Many of you are already on your own journeys, and you're probably already leaving many small ripples that are creating major impacts to many, far from where you stand. But wherever you are on that journey, I want you to remember the following. Challenge the doubts that fuel a sense of inadequacy. The gender confidence gap is real. While not all women lack the confidence to achieve what they want, many do. This is something even I had to face. And here's a little secret, it's still something I struggle with. But we must dare ourselves to challenge the negative voices in our heads, those critical voices that urge us to think small and play safe. Remember, your attitude will determine your altitude. Next, challenge the limits and labels others put on you. We all know that women can be labeled bossy for acting with equal assertiveness as men, or that the word ambition is negatively correlated for women, but not for men. But I believe a challenged world is one where women are equally praised for their assertiveness and their compassion. This is what makes women so powerful. Our ability to be strong and sensitive, our secret weapons that allow us to move mountains, calm storms, and create the change we desire in our world. As Vice President Kamala Harris said last November, dream with ambition, lead with conviction, and see yourself in a way that others might not see you simply because they've never seen it before. And finally, I remind you to challenge other women when they disempower themselves. We need to proactively go out of our way to lift other women up, to challenge how they see themselves, how they speak about themselves, and what they see as possible for themselves. We need to proactively go out of our way to lift other women up, to challenge how they see themselves, how they speak about themselves, and what they see as possible for themselves. So let us all challenge ourselves to own our value more fully, to defy our doubts more often, and to dare make the difference our difference makes. In the words of Amanda Gorman, we will keep fulfilling this part until the world goes still to say, where there's will, there's a woman, and where there's a woman, there's always a way. As I conclude, I would like to recognize the unwavering commitment of our CEO, Nirat Tiwari, and the AMCHAM T&T Secretariat for organizing this event. And a very, very special thank you to Kennedy Miraj and Narala Budu for all their hard work and dedication over the past few months. And thank you all to our sponsors for your continued support over the years. Remember, together we can all choose to challenge gender bias and inequality everywhere and create an inclusive world for all. Thank you.